It's beginning to look a lot like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ajay Patel show. I'm back. I'm back in this setup where I'm recording on GarageBand. I'm recording on my iPhone. Feels like we're in a studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm realizing I put all this paint all this artwork a little too high, but fuck it. You know, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a holiday time. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, man? I got some crazy echo in this room, but whatever. I'm glad you're here. We're going to start off right with the business. You know what I'm saying? Every holiday, we're going to start doing this giveaway. Last year, we did a couple of Lego Christmas trees. This year, we're going to do this Aura Ring 4. This has been the craze. This has been the craze. If you're not wearing an Aura Ring, you're honestly probably just a weirdo. Everyone's wearing this now. They're tracking their sleep. They're tracking their heart rate. They're tracking their metabolic age. They're tracking their weight. They're even tracking their credit score. This is where it's at. Aura. If you need someone to get, a little sponsorship action, say hello to daddy. Say hello. Okay, so yes, we are giving away an Aura Ring. And here's the thing. Here's all you got to do. It's our Christmas giveaway. We're going to have one lucky winner. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and comment the lovely word Christmas. That's right. That's all you got to do is just comment Christmas on the YouTube video of this week's episode. So all you got to do, reminder, subscribe to the channel, comment Christmas. And on the weekend, so on Saturday, actually, well, let's give it some time. People are going to be away for the holiday. Next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to see who's participated, get those names together, do a random drawing, and that person will be shipped this ring. Now, I understand what you're saying. Well, what size is it? Don't worry about that. We'll worry about it when it gets it, and when we get there, and I will ship this over to you. So, yes, one more time, we're giving away an Aura Ring. Comment on the YouTube channel of this episode, and be sure you are subscribed to the channel 1 and 2, and your name will be entered for a drawing. I went to go get gas the other week. And by the other week, I mean last week, but these days have started to feel quite long. These days are starting to feel a little bit long. I've already started my paternity leave, and I don't really know what to do with all the free time. It's a little strange, right? Where I'm just like, I would be useless if I didn't have my 9 to 5. I need to find some purpose. I understand why my dad's been doing this for 30-something years, where it's just like, this becomes your identity. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to wake up, go for a little bit of a walk, maybe make some breakfast. Maybe you're eating a little bit healthier. You're going to the gym a bit more. But finding this new identity, finding this new rhythm is a little strange, especially because I had just started getting this invested into work. And it's like, oh, now what? And now we're in this this lull period where you're in between, you're done working and you're waiting for a child to arrive. And you're kind of just waiting. You keep going to the appointments, you keep nesting a bit, and then you're just like, you know what? I really don't want to keep doing this. At this point, I'm just going to react. At this point, when the kid gets here, I'm just going to, do what I got to do. So while we're in this period, but it's a good time. It's a good time because it is the holidays. It's the holidays, and we've been driving around a lot. And the other day, I had to go get gas because I'm a little paranoid. Where we have this whole it could happen at any moment, right? If the water breaks, it's got to be like a movie scene. You gotta get in the car and you gotta head straight to the hospital. So I've been really weird about keeping a half tank of gas, half tank of gas. And I went and it was literally empty at this point. I can't remember the last time this car had gotten that low, but I go fill it up, full tank, $25, bro. $25. The last time I filled up my tank for $25, I feel like I was in high school, bro. I took the Tesla the other day to go charge fully, because it just got here from California. Took it down the street to the charger. $20. No, let's say it was about $20-ish. I got to the 80% mark. And the Tesla will be dead in a week. Whereas that Honda CR-V will last a couple of weeks. Now, I understand I was a math major, but you do the math on that, right? Gas is where it's at. Look, I understand we got to hate the president, right? Ooh, boo. We keep seeing him in all these pictures. But gas is quite nice. Having gas this low is just like a token of you know what, this is kind of nice. I kind of do feel like driving around. I kind of do. You know what? I'm not gonna go fully electric anymore. Look at what Ford has done. Remember the Ford promise where they said, you know what, by 2028 or 2030, whatever it is, our entire fleet will be electric. And everyone said, wow, that's amazing. Ooh, they care about the environment. Let's clap. Let's give them more money. Let's open up some facilities. And then just recently, they went back on that decision because they said, well, you know what, the environment of the car buying industry is actually heading towards hybrid. So you get that, you get to just fill up and go quicker with gas, but at the same time, you get that fuel efficiency of electricity with the motor. Now, my dumbass thought when you get a hybrid car, you have to charge it and you have to put gas in it. That's not the case. That's not the case. I don't know if you knew that or not. You just put gas in that thing. And this hoe does not die, bro. I'm telling you, that $25 of gas will probably get me to 2027. Real talk. And look, whatever we're doing over there, taking whatever oil from Venezuela and just keeping it for ourselves, I'm kind of down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be a little bit of a kleptomaniac myself. Even now and then, you know, this is not me admitting guilt. I could be lying. Remember, this is a fable podcast. I like to make up stories all the time. But now and then I still go into Walmart. I still go to Home Depot. Hold two items a little close together, scan one of them, put them both in the bag. Hypothetically, I still kind of do that. So am I upset at whatever fuel tanks, billions of gallons that were taken from the Venezuelan folks? I don't care. More gas, please. We'll take it. For $2 a gallon, I will take whatever we got to do over there. I'm not saying we got to bomb people. But it's nice. Having this cheap gas is nice. How are y'all doing? What are your holiday plans this Christmas? Huh? Did you get all your gifts? The 23rd, you know, so I'm recording this the 23rd, releasing it 24th. And the 23rd is always the day. You know, 23rd is always the day where you're like, oh, shit, now I got to go get these gifts. And luckily, you know, with both families now, this is the first Christmas, I will say, we have celebrated with both families. Obviously, the first Christmas since being married. And knocking them both out ahead of schedule is quite nice. I'm not going to lie. The 25th is going to come around and we're probably going to be a little bit bored. But at the same time, I don't have to go out into this madness, right? I don't have to go out to the mall, to Galleria Mall and have to, will they like this size or what color should I get? And then you have to talk to the sales associates. These sales associates don't know left and right anymore. They don't. They just make noises. They say, And then they send you to the checkout line. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, knocking this stuff out early, especially with the world of online buying, is just where it's at. So going through the list, we did the holiday giveaway, talked about some gas. Now then, the first thing I want to talk about, and this is probably the only main story we're going to talk about because we're going to keep it light for this Christmas episode, is this world of redacted pictures. You know, so now I was looking for news articles for this podcast in particular, and I typed in news into Google, I hit enter, and the first thing that comes up is, new photos of Trump show up in all these Epstein things and this and that. And I have seen this story over and over and over again. I've seen numerous TikToks about this shit, about this whole idea of like, hey, you know, he might be involved here. Now, I want people to understand something good and well. As someone that may come off as a Trump supporter, my biggest issue is that it's so binary for people. And when I say that, I mean, just because I support something like, hey, you know what, I'm really loving this cheap gas, doesn't mean I love everything about the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I like some of the R. Kelly songs doesn't mean I like him as a person. Right? The art and the artist to an extent, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, you know, there are some things I like, there are some things I don't like. Now, don't get me wrong. All this Epstein stuff, get that, you know, get him out of here. Right? Like, whoever is getting caught up in this stuff, whoever they have proof on, whoever they can literally get victims to be like, yeah, that person did this. Oh, yeah, that person did this. Lock them up. Get them out of here. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. A lot of times I get a lot of shit from Isha's friends. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If you're ever in a group chat with a bunch of ladies, you better watch your back. You better watch your back. Because they don't like your ass. They do not like you, brother. They got a problem. They got a problem. And it's not that binary for me. Where I want to repeat. If this dude is proven to be guilty in any of this stuff, right? Whether it's underage stuff, whether it's sex trafficking, whether it's the distribution of prostitution, whatever the case, whatever the thing is, get him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, hey, well, he's actually making gas cheaper, so don't convict him. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, stop treating me like a goddamn idiot. Like over and over and over again, we keep getting these small little breadcrumbs. Small little, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? And on this episode, on this podcast, we've talked about this whole idea of like, if the Democratic Party, right? If the Democratic Party has had this material for so long, why not use it, right? And I understand people may be like, oh, well, you got to protect the victims. You got to do this. And it's like, okay, cool. I understand that. I understand whatever you got to do. I'm not saying I understand all the complicities that come with it or the loopholes that you got to jump through to, release something like this. But at the same time, don't treat me like an idiot and keep doing this little piece by piece thing where you're leaking it. Oh, here, we'll give this to the Washington Post. We'll give this to the LA Times. What's another blue? Oh, we'll give this to Florida. We'll let them, do they have news outlets in Florida? Yeah, we'll let them air that over there. And then we get this nonsense, right? Then we just get speculation on the internet. Oh, all these people are on their phone. They're hating each other. Oh, how stupid. Oh, how nasty. Oh my gosh. The people that voted for him are an absolute idiot. And it's like, you gotta understand that we are being treated like we are in the machine. I understand we're in the machine, right? I fully acknowledge I'm in the machine. But it's one thing to know I'm in this little hamster tank, but constantly just get on the wheel over and over again. Like you gotta understand what is happening here. This is nonsense. If he's guilty, get him out of here. But this whole little breadcrumb after breadcrumb, in the past week, they just released all these pictures with the redacted pictures, right? You got Bill Clinton in a lot of them, Trump in some of them. And then you got people like Michael Jackson, Diana Ross. Oh, wait. Now they find that Michael Jackson, Diana Ross picture unredacted, and they actually find out that those redacted people were their children. And so this bullshit that's literally happening in front of us. And I don't know, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that like these hackers, these people that want to kind of destabilize the Democratic Party or Republican Party have their ways of doing things. I'm sure I've been watching a lot of terrorism episodes, right? We started this show called Tehran on Apple TV because we saw the guy that plays Gregory House from House on there. And then this fool's not even in the first fucking season. So I'm done watching that. I just watched Durandar with Ranveer. Oh my gosh, I really hope it's Ranveer. That's another terrorist show. And it's like, I know what it's like. I don't know what it's like. I'm not a terrorist, but I can understand if you're trying to destabilize the news currency. And I think we're already past that point, right? We're already past the point of, do people trust the news? Now we have gotten to probably more than not, your common person that's watching the news is seeing something like this and just being like, what is this? I don't believe this. Is this vetted? We have come up with too many of these. We have caught this party so much in a lie, whether it's Democratic, Republican. We've caught these political parties, these news outlets, the media in general, in so many lies now that we've gotten to this point of distrust. And so if we have these files, at this point, it's like, yo, just release it. Don't protect anyone. Don't protect anyone. Because that's how you have to uncover this shit. Who are you protecting, bro? They're already a victim. They're already a victim. Cut them a check. You tell someone that was a victim, hey, I'll give you $50,000 if I can just release this shit. You think they're saying no? You think they're saying no? And I'm not trying to throw any slight to anyone that was a victim, right? But it's just like, if a project like this at any point in your professional workplace took this long to accomplish, right? If someone was tasked with, hey, we have these Epstein files, we want you to find where Trump is guilty, or find out who is guilty, and we want you to release it. And this project took this fucking long, you would be in so much goddamn trouble. You would literally be taken off the project. It would be passed over to another person. All the engineers on there would be moved over to a different product. You get a whole bunch of new software engineers. You'd bring in a new PM. Now you got to have these quarterly reports with your manager, maybe a bi-weekly thing. Make sure every stand-up is being recorded. Make sure the after action notes are being sent. Make sure everything is going to QA and then production, and dev is a shared environment. You see what I'm saying? If the government is, and I gotta have this ounce in me that thinks like the government is operating on a certain cadence that a professional workplace operates on. Maybe that's naive of me, right? And I'm bringing all this to the point where I want to say that at this point, it doesn't even feel like trying to discover the truth. It just feels like, how can we get Trump's name smeared, right? So at this point, it's not about finding the truth. Let me repeat that one more time here. What am I trying to say here? At this point, it doesn't feel like we're trying to find the truth. It's mainly just about, how can we smear this dude's name enough? And that's all that I feel like matters anymore. And for me, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that personally. Where it's like, for me, whoever's nasty, get them all out of here. I'm not ignoring all this nastiness over here and just waiting till we hit this target over here. And that's why I feel like a lot of this bullshit now that's coming out, who is going to come through and just slice all of this through, just absolutely get this thing from whatever it is to in front of the people within a level of trust, and then deal with the justice side of it afterwards. And it doesn't feel like any of that's happening now. It all just feels like, hey, we just need to make headlines in the news. Oh, Trump was found in these pictures. Brother, we got that news back in like 2022. We knew that these dudes were friends. We've seen them hanging out all the time. Like, what is actual new about what you're telling us? And you got to think that if this full thing were to come out, it would actually destroy both parties, right? So you'd be this martyr that just destroys basically the entire government. And honestly, fuck it, right? Like, why not? Who inside the house can actually get this thing to a level of visibility, especially with this power of social media, to this point where we're all like, oh shit, hey, we're actually not on board for this. And man, it feels crazy outside. I've been driving around Houston, like I just said, and I've never seen places this busy, roads this busy, people this uneasy, the amount of aggressive driving. And I'm not saying I'm innocent of it. I'm also become one of these people. But I gotta think that this economy is doing fine, bro. Like, this is not financial advice, but if I had the money to invest, I would be pouring it into the market, pouring it. Like, I do not think, with what I'm seeing outside, that anyone is facing financial difficulty like this. I actually think, we talk about this whole AI wave of taking jobs and stuff. I think it's actually the upper tier of jobs that's probably getting affected the most. So your person with the college education that has a little bit of college debt is probably affected more than the person that's working at the retail job. Because, companies are starting to slim down. They're starting to do more with less people. And then these AI things, obviously, it's like, okay, well, now we don't need a software engineer to do this, or we don't need someone to do, QA this. We can just have this program in place to fix all this stuff. Whereas if you go to a restaurant and you're looking for a level of service, right? These I think they call it blue collar jobs. It's harder to replace those. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I do think that's the portion of people that have probably been affected the most. And maybe that's the demographic that's doing more online shopping. But anytime I'm out in public now, whether it's Walmart, Sprouts, World Market, it doesn't matter. These places are packed, bro. I stood in line for about 20 minutes at Home Goods the other week. 20 minutes, bro. Like that's kind of insane. Like the only thing that I feel like is killing retail is the line. If you can somehow streamline the line, you're good. But at the same time, the line is where it's at, honestly. Honestly, because then you're like looking at all these small trinkets. Oh, do I need hot Cheetos from Home Goods? Maybe. Oh, wow, look at that little trinket. Oh, I guess I do need new coasters. Oh, are those socks? Oh, I should get that for my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the shit that's just kind of rolling on now. Retail's where it's at. And I have not seen any slowdown of people spending or people consuming. And now, Trump just came out with this new thing where it's like, oh, they're going to start going after people that have defaulted on these student loans, taking it out of their pay instead of you just paying it on your own, which, I'm not saying is the worst, right? I'm not saying it's the worst. I'm someone that has probably like $3,000 of student debt left and it's on auto pay. I don't think about it or anything. It was nice when it was paused during COVID, but I'm someone that's been, I did get laid off once upon a time. And I did have to deal with like, oh shit, I got this $4,000 rent. I got all, a wedding coming up. I just lost my job. I have a certain spending habits and stuff. It's very easy to see how someone like that can end up like underwater, and then they're not consuming as much, right? Like this whole like, oh, the stock market might crash. For me personally, I just don't see it happening. And on that note, I just want to say, consume, baby, consume. Go get some gas. Go drive around. Please. I want to, like if a friend calls you over and they said, hey, we're going to make dinner. Would you guys like to come over? And let's say it's a 25-minute drive or a 30-minute drive. Fuck it. 40-minute drive. Just go. Gas is this cheap, bro. Just go hang out with people for no reason. Go show up at their door. Go stop by Tiff Streets. Go stop by Insomnia Cookies. Do not stop by Crumble Cookie. And go get a box of cookies. Stop by their house. Say Merry Christmas. And say, hey, actually, I don't want to come in. I actually want to go back home. I just wanted to spend some gas. Go home. Have a lovely holiday season. I will see you guys next week when we do our end of year recap. It was lovely talking to you guys. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas. Don't forget about the Aura Ring giveaway. If you need the details, go back to the beginning of the episode. I'll see you guys all next week. And goodbye.